Maximizers, and welcome to Build a Business with Chris, the place for you to learn how to build a profitable business that you love. I'm your business coach, Chris the Maximizer, and in today's video, I want to talk about repurposing your video content. I love being able to repurpose, reuse, and sometimes even repost my video content, and I want to share with you my top tips for doing so let's dig right on in. Before I dig into the tips, I really want to say that repurposing, reusing, reposting is allowing you to work smarter, not harder. You are using the content or the content ideas that you have already created to post on multiple platforms or in multiple mediums. So do not feel like you are cheating yourself or cheating the system by taking one idea and using it multiple ways. I've literally built my business doing that, where I come up with one idea and I figure out how many ways can I repurpose or reuse this content in multiple mediums without having to come up with a new or a different idea. My first tip for you is to decide your content ideas typically for the month for your main platform. So even if you are posting on multiple platforms, you need to decide which platform is your main platform. If you had no option but to only post on one platform, what would it be? For instance, for me, that is YouTube. YouTube is my main platform. So what is your main platform, your anchor platform that you want to post on? Once you decide that, how many pieces of content do you want to post on that platform? For instance, for me, I post 3 YouTube videos a week on my YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris. So knowing that, I need 12 content ideas for the month, 3 for each week. So when you know that you are going to be repurposing your content, reusing, reposting, you want to sit down and get clear on how many pieces do I need for my main platform? And from that platform, that's how we're going to repurpose and reuse. So sit down and decide how many content ideas do you need. So for me, I come up with 12 ideas for YouTube videos. Second tip, decide early on what other platforms you're going to be posting on. So when I create my YouTube videos, I am now going to be posting my YouTube videos over on TikTok because TikTok is loving horizontal content. So I am going to literally repost some of these videos over there. But of course, I'm going to edit them up for TikTok. I also am going to reuse my content in the sense of going live. So I do not take this exact video that I posted on YouTube and repost it on my other platforms besides TikTok. I'm going to reuse the content idea for another platform. So if you look at my YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris, or my TikTok or my Instagram, my live streams are in-depth conversations about the video topics I have already posted previously. So I am reusing that content idea. I'm repurposing a piece of content that I've already used. The tips that I share in my video are very similar or sometimes the same exact tips that I share in my live stream. So if I'm doing this video on how to repurpose content, in a few weeks, maybe a month, I'm going to do a live on how to repurpose your video content, but I'm using that same idea. So do you see how I am repurposing content in the sense I'm going to talk about it in a different form live, but it's the same content idea that I already came up with. When you're deciding your main platform, know how else am I going to use this? So if you need to make edits, changes, and updates for that platform, you can do so during the editing process. Third tip, record that content for your main platform. Record it. Now, this can help you a couple different ways. Number one, I'm recording this for my YouTube channel, but I can cut this up and I can turn this into shorts that I can use on YouTube. I can cut this up into TikTok clips and clips for reels that I can use on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Those are the other 3 platforms that I post on outside of YouTube. So record for your main platform, and then also keep in mind as you're recording what other platforms you're going to be using this content on. I'm going to take this exact video, edit it a little bit, and post it right over on TikTok because they like horizontal. So go ahead, record the content for your main platform, and then you can slice it up and use it for your other platforms as well. Fourth tip, I already kind of alluded to this, but in order to repurpose and reuse, you want to make sure you edit the content for the platform. Now, just taking this full exact video with no edits and no cuts and posting it on TikTok is not going to be the best way because I have thumbnail, I have end screens, I have inserts, I have things popping up on the screen that may not be relevant to TikTok. So once you record for your main platform, you want to sit down and figure out, all right, I've recorded and I've edited this for YouTube. How am I going to make it for TikTok? And then vice versa. I've recorded and edited this for TikTok. It's posted on TikTok. How can I use it as a YouTube short? How can I use it as an Instagram reel? How can I post this on LinkedIn? You want to make sure that you are editing appropriately for that platform. If you're going to be reposting like your stories, I oftentimes take my stories from Instagram and post them on TikTok. I also do a little bit of editing with that as well, because if I put a link in my Instagram, or I put a specific picture on my Instagram that links to another Instagram video, that is not going to translate over on TikTok. And you also want to make sure that you are removing any watermarks. So when you are editing this content for a new platform, when you post on TikTok, remove the watermark before you post on Instagram. Remove the watermark before you post on YouTube Shorts. They do not like the watermark of another platform on their platform. They are not going to show your video to a lot of people because they do not want to send a video viral that has somebody else's watermark on it. So make sure you are editing that piece of content appropriately for the new platform that it's going to be on. And then my last tip for you is to just re-record the content using the content ideas for the platform. So if you've recorded a video and you're like, there's no way I can edit this, there's no way I can get this watermark off, maybe you take the same ideas that you were using. For instance, when I take these same ideas and I use them for a live stream, I am re-recording this content but for a different way. Now, this is helpful because you're not racking your brain coming up with new ideas. I love running my business in this way. I've already racked my brain to come up with my 12 video ideas for the month. So now I'm just gonna go back. I usually go back about 2 months and see what videos performed really well. I'm gonna do those as live streams. And then those will be my live stream topics for the upcoming month. And sometimes I can break them up because I can do part 1 and part 2. If I have 6 or 7 tips, I can give 3 tips one day and 4 tips the other day. So sometimes you will have to just re-record your content for that platform, but you're not creating anything new. You're creating the same thing in a different method. So these are just some of my tips to help you repurpose, reuse, and repost your existing video content. If you have content on one of your platforms that has gone viral, that is probably content that other people on other platforms want to see. So it could be to your benefit to repost it or to re-record a fresh, updated version with the same information, since you know it did really, really well with your audience. I would love for you to drop your questions in the comments about repurposing and reusing content. Subscribe to Build a Business with Chris if you haven't already, and send me a DM over on Instagram or TikTok if you have any questions about what it would look like for us to work together to grow your business. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.